Good morning, students. Welcome back to Gopalaswamy High School online classes. Very nice to see you again. Hope you are enjoying your holidays at home. At the same time, we have a word for you that you should not forget academics. Well, now today I am going to discuss a very interesting chapter, that is the first chapter in political science. The first chapter in political science, that is problems of India and their solutions. Problems of India and their solution. In this chapter, we are going to discuss some important problems of India. Not only discussing the problems, we are trying to analyze the reasons for this, At the same time, we are also finding the solutions. What are the reasons for these problems, and also what are the solutions that has been given by the government and also from other agencies. So let us try to understand the important problems. India has so many problems. We are not going to discuss all the problems. If we are going to discuss all the problems, we may have to discuss it for more than 1 year. But for the examination sake, what are the important problems discussed in the textbook that I am going to discuss now. So, the first problem, that is the problem of unemployment. Problem of unemployment. You see this problem? Unemployment is a very big problem in India. Unemployment is a very big problem in India. We have around 29.9% of unemployed people in India. The total number of, the percentage of unemployment in India is 21.9% as discussed in this board. Okay, is written in this board. Now let us try to understand what is unemployment. What is unemployment? Unemployment is a situation where a person having qualification will not get a job, or suitable job. So this situation is called unemployment. To make it very simple, a qualified person not getting any employment is called unemployment. Okay, you are qualified for a post, but you are not getting any employment. You are an engineering graduate, okay, but you don't get a job of an engineer. Okay, this is called unemployment. There is another word called underemployment. What is underemployment? Underemployment is a situation wherein you have a qualification, but you are not getting job according to your qualification, but you get job very much below your qualification. You are an engineer, but you are working as a attender in a school or a college or in a government office. This situation we call this as underemployment. Right? Now, let us discuss the reasons for the unemployment. Reasons for the unemployment. What are the reasons for the unemployment? I have written the important points on the board. That is, first reason is the population. You know that Indian population cannot support any employment. We have so many graduates, we have so many postgraduates, but the generation of employment is not taking place only because of overpopulation in India. The rate at which the population is growing and the rate at which the generation of employment is going is totally they are different. They are totally in a different race. The unemployment is going in such a fast manner, but population is multiplied in such a way that the unemployment and population will not match. So one of the major reasons for unemployment in India is the increase of population. It is a very simple point to understand. Increase of population, the first point. Second point is, it's a very interesting point, students. The technology means The improved technology, every day we are seeing improvement in technology. You have seen the number of mobiles that are coming to the market. Today's mobile is useless tomorrow. Totally it becomes obsolete, right? So this is how technology has swallowed the employment. How do we understand this problem? See, earlier 100 people used to do one job, one clerical work. The job was distributed among 100 people, but today's computer can do job of not only 100, more than 1000 people job one computer can do. So this is how technology has swallowed the employment. We are not getting employment because there is always an improvement in technology. I'll give one more example for this. You take the example of JCB, which does the work on the road, right? Sometimes back, some years back, hundreds of people used to do the work, or digging, or lifting, taking the mud out of the pit. All these things used to be done by people only. Now one JCB will do this work within 1 hour. Okay, it will destroy, it will bring down any building within 1 hour. So to break the building earlier, thousands of people used to be appointed. So this is how improvement in technology has taken away the employment. So this is one of the reasons. And another thing in India, particularly in India, more than 60% of people are following agriculture. Agriculture is a main occupation wherein dependency on agriculture is more in India. So that is also one of the reasons. That is, dependency on agriculture is also one of the reasons for unemployment. Agriculture does not need so many people, and agriculture is a seasonal employment. Whole year you don't have job. So whenever there is a agricultural season, and whenever there is a monsoon, people go for agriculture, do some work, and afterwards, after initial work in the agriculture, they keep quiet. They need not do any work till the cutting, that is till the harvest. People have absolutely no job except small jobs here and there. So this is how unemployment is created in India, that is dependency on agriculture. Another most tragic development in India, especially after the entry of British, is the cottage and small scale industries, which used to create a lot of employment in India, is now completely spoiled. Okay, ruined state of small scale and cottage industries. So this is a situation now. Small scale and cottage industries were flourished in India for so many years, but after the entry of the British, even after independence, there is no improvement in this area. And this is also one of the reasons for unemployment, that is ruined state of small scale and cottage industries. People used to do a lot of work at home, that carpentry work, smithy work, and especially these industries were concentrated more in villages. Now village people don't do all these things. Pottery work, okay, so many jobs have completely vanished because of technology and because of the lifestyle change. So students, this is also one of the reasons for unemployment. So now another important, very very important for modern India is, that is one of the reasons, most important reason for unemployment is lack of skill. Now our Prime Minister now and then keeps on talking about skill. The modern requirement, today's requirement is not the general education. We need skill-based people. We invariably, if you don't have skill, you have no place for employment. For example, you become a teacher, right? You become a teacher, but if you don't have communication skill, you will never become a successful teacher. Understand? Just content and knowledge is not important. You have to have the most important skill, that is communicating your ideas, your knowledge through the medium, whatever it is, whether it is Kannada or English. You should have the skill to communicate. You should have that aptitude to communicate. So these are the reasons, right? So last point which we discussed is lack of skill. Skill means kaushala. Okay? If you are an engineer, you should be able to develop. If you are a software engineer, you should be able to develop so many apps. You should know more languages, and you should be able to do so many new ideas, creative ideas. Okay? This is how you can improve. Okay? This, if you don't have this skill, just computer knowledge will not help nowadays. Understand? So, this is what we require now. So this is one of the reasons, that is not having skill based education is also one of the reasons for unemployment. Now we have understood what are the reasons for the unemployment. At the same time, for the examination sake also, we have to understand what are the solution to this. How do we solve this problem? It is so easy. So what all minus we had, we have to make it plus here, right? Understand? One thing is we have to control population, that is invariably. Otherwise, the future of India is going to be very, very dangerous and tragic, right? So now, students, the first solution is improve the skill-based education. We have to improve skill, then only we'll get employment. So, skill-based education is the most important requirement of the day, right? So now, providing loans and subsidy. Second solution is government should provide loans for those people who are going to do self-employment. What I mean to say is dependency on government or any other agency for employment should be stopped. People should be encouraged to take their own employment. They should become entrepreneurs like Infosys Narayan Murthy, like our Apollo Hospital Dr. Reddy, and like Jet Airways. And there are so many entrepreneurs like Tata and Birla, right? So the best example in Mysore is our Vasu Agarbattis. They have the Rangarav and cycle brand Agarbattis. So like that you have to take up your own employment, for which government is going to help you in giving loans. Government is going to give you loans, and not only giving you loans, if you take up any self-employment projects on your own, they are going to give you a subsidy. You know what is subsidy? It is the financial assistance that comes from the government on your expenditure. Supposing you spend around 10 lakhs on a project, government is going to give a portion of it. Okay, the portion is decided on certain rules and regulations, and we cannot discuss that. But in some industries, especially village and khadi industries, if you invest 5 lakhs on your project, taking up any village industries or anything of that sort, they are going to give you 50% of what you have already invested. If you have invested 5 lakhs, they are going to give you 2 or 2.5 lakhs as subsidy. So this is how government is encouraging people to take up self-employment. Okay, so students, so first point is to improve the skill. Second problem is providing loans and subsidy. The third problem is, see, we have wonderful industries in India like handicrafts. What do you mean by handicrafts? Things which are made out of hands. Things which are made out of hands. So these industries which make pottery, for example, pottery or whatever, like small things, decorative items or artwork. The people take up artwork and all that. Okay, these are the things, you have seen in Mysore. There are so many people who do artwork. If you go to Kaveri showroom, you can see the type of handicrafts that has been done in the wood, on beads, on metals, so many things like this. These are the things which are done by people who are not highly qualified. Okay, they do a lot of work with their hands. So that those industries are called handicrafts. So these handicrafts are unable to compete at the international level. What I mean to say is global level. So this product, even the product which is which is done in Mysore, should go to international level. Then only the employment will be created. then only these people will be benefited. So what I mean to say is globalizing these industries. These industries are unable to compete at the international level. You must encourage and make these products globally acceptable. Then only these industries will flourish, right? So last point, it is very important, students. You know what is JOC? JOC is job oriented courses. Job oriented courses. Job oriented courses mean the moment you finish your degree or course, whatever course that you pursue, you will immediately get the job. Say for example, if you do ITI, industrial training has so many options. You can become a smithy worker, you can become a boiler attendant, you can become an electronic technician, you can become an electrical technician. These are the small things which are taught in ITI, Industrial Training Institute. These institutes, they only cater to industries. So this kind of education, if introduced at different levels in India, definitely our employment is going to be solved. There is absolutely no future for those people who have general education like a BA, BSc or BCom degree. You have to have some specialization which is related to skill. So that is job oriented courses, JOC, right? JOC is job oriented courses. Nowadays, to give you a very good example is the best way. There is one institute called Rootset in Mysore, which is run under the auspicious, by Dharmasthala Manjunatheshwara Charitable Trust. And that Rootset, they train students or whoever comes to that institute. They train them especially in doing binding work. Okay, and best way is repairing the mobile. Mobile, today is such a big. Mobiles are in big demand. Every now and then our mobiles go. They become invalid. Okay, whenever there is a problem with our mobile, we have to take them to the mobile repairer. So if you learn how to repair mobile or how to do wiring, these are the things which will give you employment. Not only employment, you can earn money also. And you have the satisfaction of doing your work on your own. That is self-employment, right? So this is one example I have given you, children. Now, another problem we are going to discuss now. This is a very horrible issue which we are going to discuss now. What is the next problem of India? The biggest problem perhaps in India, that is corruption. Corruption, Bhraštacāra, Lancha. So these are the things. So what is corruption? Corruption is nothing but offering bribe and following illegal means to achieve benefits. I repeat once again, students. Offering bribe, following illegal methods to achieve illegal benefits. So this is in India, it has become very common now, and India is facing such a big problem of corruption from top level to the lower level. Whenever you go to any government office, you see this problem. So I am not going to talk about that, but this is a very big problem, and this is going to, it is the effect of corruption. Effect of corruption is that people offer bribe, they go to all types of illegal means. You don't have proper documents, but you build the house. So on somebody's land you build the house. No, all these things are done illegally, right? So this is what, you don't have license, but you drive the vehicle. This is also another kind of, illegal means of doing things. So this is what we discuss in this corruption. Right? Misuse of public authority. Public authority always, misuse of public authority means government machinery is always misused by some officials who do wrong things for illegal benefits. They are going to help some people taking money. This is what is happening now. Okay. and it is a contagious disease. It is a very, very contagious disease. It has spread to every part of India. Okay, every office has this kind of problem. Okay, if you want your files to move to some, I mean, if you want, best example is you want license to build your house, you go to corporation and you pay money, you will get it tomorrow. Okay, otherwise, if you don't pay money, you will never get the license. This is what, now the best way to, how do we stop all these problems? Let us discuss. So what is this? Before that, I just introduce you the forms of bribery. For different forms of corruption. Bribery, slow down work. If you don't give money, officials will not work. Your paper or your file will be there forever. Even after 1 year also, you will not get anything that you wanted from that office. So now, slow down of work, and people avoid giving tax. You are earning so much. What is your duty as a citizen of India? You have to pay honestly the income tax. You know, this will not be done by so many people. They earn in crores, and they earn in crores, they don't pay the tax properly, and you know what is going to happen? All that money will become unaccounted, and that is what we call black money. Okay? So, it is estimated that in India, the rate of black money is in crores, not in crores of black money is accumulated in India, which is totally unaccounted, right? And hoarding means, you know, all the items in the market they hoard. They don't give it to the people. They keep it at one point, and they create artificial scarcity, and finally the rates will shoot up, and ultimately the consumers will be in trouble, right? And smuggling, you know what is smuggling? Bringing commodities from other countries. Bringing commodities from other countries, you know, it is a great loss to Indian economy. Okay, if foreign goods enter India, who is there to buy our own products? So people should buy our own products. Therefore, we should not encourage foreign goods. And you know, all these goods which come to India, they are smuggled. Most of the goods are smuggled. What do you mean by smuggling? It is brought to India without paying proper duties. I mean, without paying correct payment of taxes that has to be given at the airport or wherever it is. So, all these things which have come, most of the things which have come to India, they have come through illegal means. They have come through wrong people, right? Understand? So, cheating is also one of the ways of corruption. So, we have in detail discussed the nature of corruption, but at the same time, we have to understand what are the solution for this. What are the solution for this great problem of India, that is corruption. The solution is at our own level. We have to be morally very, very pure, in the sense the public ethics have to be improved. People should know that they should not go for corruption. They should not offer bribe to any people, right? Morality of people should be increased. This will come only not by talking. It should come from within. Everybody should follow this. So giving or following corrupt method, we should feel ashamed of ourselves. I am going in a wrong way. I am cheating my nation. If this kind of feeling comes to us, definitely the country will improve, right? And now, strict supervision. Strict supervision has to be done. Otherwise, you know, if there is no supervision, definitely the corruption will increase. So, in this way, and the government should have political will. The government also, people in the government or the people who are ruling us, they should prove that they are not corrupt. If they follow corrupt methods, definitely they have no moral voice. They cannot question people who follow illegal methods. So therefore, political will to solve this problem, and awareness have to be given. Public awareness will come only through education. Only through schools and colleges, we have to we can create awareness that corruption is very bad. This is how awareness that is created through education and institution can stop corruption to some extent. Okay. Now, another modern technology which can prevent corruption is installation of CCTV. If CCTV is installed in all the offices, people naturally feel they are frightened. They get frightened to take any money illegally or any underhand dealings or any kind of corruption that is going to happen inside the office. Okay, will be recorded and people will be caught very easily. So you know that CCTV has become very popular now. Okay, thanks to the technology, right? And severe punishment should be given to people who follow corruption. They have to be punished very severely. Their assets, wealth should be confiscated by the government, for which the government should be very strong to punish such people. For that, we need courts and the law has to become very, very strong. Okay. So, there is also another point, that is, there are two institutions in India which are operating against corruption. These are the institutions which can definitely stop corruption in India. Right? So, which are those institutions? Lokpal and Lokayukta. Lokpal and Lokayukta are two institutions which can definitely stop corruption. Okay? It is an institution which has got all the power to catch people who take bribes, and those who are very corrupt people are always, they are caught by Lokayukta and Lokpal. Okay? So these two problems today we have discussed. One is the problem of unemployment and problem of corruption. Okay, students, we'll continue with the other problems of India in the next video.